There is never a right time to lose a son, a brother, a cousin, a nephew, or a friend, but it has happened. Like a thundercloud on a sunny day, out of nowhere, it seems we are left with this moment. A day that should be filled with joy is today filled with grief and sadness.
It is too hard to try to conjure a reason or wrestle this occasion into some kind of perspective. None of it works, so we must come together and look for the sliver of good in this moment.
Maybe we have to invent it, but there is something here for us to share. Let's take time to remember him.
Excitement whirled around the anticipation of the birth of Josh. When he was born, everyone was elated that he had arrived. The first boy for the family. His big, beautiful brown eyes were always looking at all of us with unconditional love. He was born into a family of 3 mothers and a loving and committed coach as a father. Josh always had an adventurous, carefree, infectious spirit. Adventurous in a way that Josh would want to experience new things but would always seek his family's approval.
When Josh was just a mere 2 years old, he threw the car into drive and away the car went to the babysitter's garage, while Dad stood outside talking with coffee in hand. Before he started school, Josh decided to exhibit his adventurous side frequently at the local department stores. Instead of staying in close proximity, he would venture to the nearest clothing racks, or for a true adventure, all the way in the fitting rooms. With his parents saying his name in a frantic tone, Josh still would not come out of hiding until his parents were able to uncover his tiny shoes underneath the racks. After that, his parents had to put a child leash on him to keep him near. The leash loosened some when he got a little older.
As a family, we would camp in Ludington. Josh desired to roam free with his cousins and friends about the campground. Josh made his first independent walk from the campsite through the scary woods to the bathroom with his father tiptoeing behind him to make sure he made it okay. As the summers passed, Josh's confidence rose as he ventured further and further throughout the campground without his father tiptoeing behind him. As a youngster, Josh developed a fascination with guns. When we would camp, we always had to stop at the Indian store to purchase toy guns. One year, he persuaded his parents to purchase him a BB gun. He would always be on the lookout for varmints to shoot, and finally the day arrived. His father would complain about that doggone
woodchuck is out there again. Josh begged his father to let him shoot it. So not to miss his opportunity, Josh didn't have time to get dressed. He headed out in his whitey-tighties to take care of that woodchuck. He came running back so proud as he had shot the woodchuck dead in his backside. As Josh approached adolescence, he developed interest in dirt bikes and wave runners. Again, Josh used the art of persuasion to convince his parents of the urgency to purchase a Yamaha dirt bike. He quickly developed and showcased his talents to his eager family on his self-made track on the neighbor's property. Josh taught his 2 sisters how to ramrod around on the village way on the countryside.
Josh decided that he would like to dabble in the watercraft arena, so he recruited his sister to negotiate with the parents once again.
Josh traded his dirt bike in for the wave runner, which they used to race around Gull Lake. Josh had an incredible ability to excel at any activity that he was passionate about. Josh would have the drive and determination to absorb and learn techniques without the aid of a teacher. He was self-taught. His father, a lover of the game, introduced Josh to some pistol peak footage on ball handling. Josh would wear out the video watching and imitating, He would go with his dad whenever he played, whether it be at a gym or the backyards of friends. Josh played on the local youth league, middle school and high school teams, and continued with Gus Macker tournaments where he had the opportunity to play with professionals. Through any situation that evoked stress or pressure, Josh had an uncanny ability to calm others or remain calm himself. Anytime his sister Heather got lost with her lack of a sense of direction, Josh would be right there to help her. We always marveled at how Josh kept his composure and remained humble on the basketball court for so many remarkable years. If it was a big game against a rival competitor, Josh would rise to the occasion and hit 5 3-pointers to bring his team to victory. Throughout Josh's basketball career, we always as a family would support him, even if that meant scolding the referees or coaches. Sometimes we felt that if Josh wasn't going to say something, we needed to step in to educate the coaching staff or officials. Following the games, we would always ask him if we embarrassed him, and every time he would respond with a nonchalant, "You guys don't ever embarrass me.
His talents transpired into the musical arena with the introduction by one of his close friends, Chris Liling. Even though their musical tastes differed, Chris, Josh, and many others shared the passion for music. The dream to form a band and be rock stars was always theirs. Josh loved to spend hours strumming his guitar and was always proud to show what he had composed. He would always say to someone in his family, "Hey, come listen to this riff." Josh and his sisters were like three peas in a pod. Josh would follow them wherever they went, wanting to be a part of everything they did. Sometimes his sisters would put him in some controversial situations. One time his sisters thought it would be fun to dress him up. We couldn't fit in the dress, but Josh could. So Josh put on the dress filled with socks and completed the look with a wig.
But after their father's reaction, dress-up days were over. When Leslie and Heather moved out, Josh became that third roommate on the couch. The three of us would have movie nights, euchre tournaments, and cook dinners to spend time together. Wherever we went, he wasn't far behind. He even traveled hundreds of miles to be with us in Nashville. As a parent, you try to raise your child to be respectful, loving, compassionate, and accepting of everyone. Josh exemplified all of these. Josh wouldn't judge, he wouldn't look down on anyone. He accepted you as you are, sometimes to a fault. Throughout his life, Josh shared countless momentous experiences with friends and family that will always have a special place in our hearts. And though Josh has gone on ahead of us, his legacy serves as a guide to help us through that sometimes difficult path. He is our reminder to celebrate ourselves and those around us, and especially to appreciate and learn from someone who lives and thinks different than we do.
Josh rode the path hard, reveled in the sound of his guitar amp wailing, stayed up late, laughed, and gave it all he had. He got to smell an awful lot of roses. There's no tragedy in that. Let's remember Josh in that way. It is time to set aside our distractions and differences and put a little more focus on things that really matter. Thanks for the reminder, Josh. We'll miss you, but know we have all learned something very, very important from you.
As your family, we will miss you every day that we breathe air on this earth.
But know we will be with you soon, and we love you. All we question and will continue to struggle with is,
why do the good die young?